Yep, scan.
Hey,
Scan.
I did it.
I have a success. I think I have a special.
Ooh.
So mine did. What did we do last time? It didn't go through. I had to use something else.
Yes.
Don't.
I have a special success on my scan.
Okay.
Ooh, I got a 19. That's not. Nope. That's. I'm not getting this. What did we have to do last time? For some reason, this
Oh, the roll 'em thing?
roll 'em bot's not working. So
It's not?
Mine worked.
I'm showing 19 that you just rolled.
oh, it is okay. I took the exclamation point off.
Yeah, roll 'em
Mine
doesn't
is
use the
successful.
exclamation point.
Okay.
The dice parser does, but it is currently whatever that little moon thing means.
I had
Okay.
success.
I got a 19. So that's a success.
Okay, so let me change screens here real quick. So here's clear wine, right? Can you see my cursor thing going around it?
Oops, let me switch here.
No.
No, the little X.
Well,
We're
I have to go to the watch.
Yeah, you got to go to the screen share. Yeah, with the map.
There
My
it is.
understanding is that we're going to Two Sisters with the two surviving enemies.
We're past that.
Okay.
We were heading back to.
You attempted to
Check in
interrogate them there, and the weapon thing attempted to interrogate them there. Wasn't able to get anything out of that.
Oh, that's right. You guys played after I left.
And then they went down to Room Gate, and the Lord of Room Gate had no interest in doing any of that and suggested taking them down to the Queen. And that's what we did. And they were like no encounters all the way, wasn't there? Oh no, there was one encounter. Does you remember what that one was?
Dream Dragon.
Giant worm.
That's right. A dragon.
Maybe it was our friend.
But nobody freaked out.
So, okay, when I left, we were taking enemies to Two Sisters, and then you went all the way down to Runegate?
Yes.
All the way down to
And
Clearwine.
He rolled and didn't get any encounters. So
Yeah, so when nothing's happening or something that happens that doesn't affect anything, like herders, farmers, just bypass that stuff. It doesn't mean anything. And they got down to Clearwine.
You don't have to have a random encounter, yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're now in Clearwine.
Yes. We are in Clearwine. Oh, where? Damn glasses.
And we dumped the prisoners off with the guards at the Queen's Palace.
That's right.
We said, we're going home. If the Queen wants to, if anybody, the Queen or anybody wants us to tell them what's going on, we'll be back. Let us know.
That's right. But as you guys were coming out of, is it Ardisi's forest? No, by Black Spear here, and coming down in the Starfire Ridges here. That's this series of well, they call them mountains. I'm not sure how tall they are. These mountains through here. There's this place called the Cinder Pits. Mm-hmm. Which is where a lot of the quote Starfire stuff fell, so there's lots of smoke and stuff still coming up out of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's not smoking all the time, but it's definitely smoking as you're coming by. And Arestra, since you're local to the area, you notice that the smoke is heavier than you've seen it before.
Okay. I will mention that to my comrades. I don't know. I'll ask if they think we know anybody back in Clearwine or something that we should mention that to, just in case. I might mention it back to my superior at the temple.
Okay. They will take note of it, but you get the definite impression that that's okay. They don't care.
Okay.
It's a cinder pit.
Well, it is like kind of a dent in the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And we are a little bit concerned about, denting the earth, I suppose. Okay.
All right. So the next day, I need to take off my watch. These guys keep texting me. So the next day, you will get called to come up to the palace. Oh, and I can change pictures if I change computers.
Dress in my finest.
Mhm.
At least you have something to wear.
How is your
Which
attire
is-
different, Chris?
Which is, in my case, the same thing that I always do. I
Is your
clean my
attire
arm.
different?
Yes.
Why so?
Yes, it is different. And I have a coin amount to reference the difference rather than this is what it's made out of, because I don't know. I don't know that anybody knows what it's actually made out of or looks like.
Or was that important to actually recognize that?
I have this ostentatious metal helmet that I wear that's good enough for, my showing.
You're donning someone else's clothing, is what you're saying?
Not me.
Ooh, that's some cool art. That is
There
very
we
cool.
go. Yeah, that is the city of Clearwine.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
That's
And if
good
you guys
stuff.
actually remember, where's my picture again? There it is. Obviously, this is the entrance, right? Everybody's familiar with that. This is the lower town, and this is actually the Thane of the Ernaldori clan Thane's residence.
Okay.
And then this is the upper city. This is where the temple is and the market and that kind of stuff. And then this is the palace area up here. Okay.
And down,
Palace
and
area.
down the road out of view on the lower left is where the Earth Temple.
Correct, yes.
So, needless to say, to even be in the palace is kind of a honor.
Mm-hmm.
That's true, yes. Not everybody gets to go up in there. You've got to go through a number of gates, and then there's,
Mm-hmm.
holding areas and all that kind of stuff.
I
Gotcha.
thought Miriam was going to bring her infant son.
Her what?
Her infant son.
Oh,
It's only like what, 1 year old or 9 months old,
that's not even that. It's like just a few months old.
probably.
We didn't
Who's
actually
the
roll for
father?
that, did we? Did we roll for a birth date on that?
Birth date?
Yeah.
Well, it had to be the down during the, one of those down times. Right? Hey, I got married in
Daddy.
1627, so I assume we're currently in 1627 or 8.
Yeah, we're in the spring of 28.
Who's the Dada?
He's an assistant shaman.
Oh.
Not my assistant, but I passed the test. I was lucky.
Yep.
He failed his try.
Or he hasn't dared to try yet.
Oh, maybe that's it.
It's always possible. Okay, so up to the palace. And again, you'll be sitting in a waiting area for a bit. But not too actually long. Because the queen is anxious to hear your report. And so you're brought into the circle. And there's the normal host of folks there. Her advisors, that sort of thing. And she asks, oh, wait a minute. I need to check something. It's been 3 weeks. Maybe a little more. When did you guys take off? Do you guys remember?
I didn't write the date down. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think keep track of them. Fortunately or unfortunately.
Oh, hey, girl. Hey, come here. Come here. Good girl. Good girl.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was. Yeah, because sea season's the first season of the year. So. Yeah, there we go. The first week it was Wild Day of Disorder Week when you guys were sent off to check out about the bandits. So it's been 2 full weeks.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems right. Sounds good.
So she will
Kicking ass.
ask how things went. What did you find? And who were these prisoners?
Well, we did have some challenges. We were forced to defend ourselves quite a few times. We had a battle with bandits. Discovered there's some shenanigans, as you suspected, bothering the merchants. Just looking over my notes.
Okay.
And we think these are part of them, but they won't talk to us.
I see.
Well, no, these are the water cultists.
Don't we think the water cultists are the bandits?
No, there's two separate groups, I think.
Maybe.
Huh?
Maybe.
Maybe that's to be determined.
Well,
Do you guys want to have a powwow before we bring the queen back in?
Well, if we haven't been getting anything out of these guys, so we'll find out. If somebody else does, we'll find out.
That's true. You have not.
Yes. There
So
are
we had
two
a-
separate groups, and we're not sure which ones are the band. But they're both
okay,
bad.
we could have one person debrief
Go ahead.
the queen and tell her that we had an encounter with these people in blue cloaks, these figures in blue cloaks that were attacked us, and we are not exactly sure who they are. Does anyone want to chime in?
Do we have anyone with a decent oratory? Our person with the decent oratory is no longer with us.
That's absolutely not me. In fact, I may not even be able to speak to her at all, or anyone in the party, apparently.
No, that's right.
My
You have language.
You got
Mine
some
is
trade talk.
25.
Rate is 60.
Yeah, my pure horse is 60. If she speaks pure horse.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're not. I don't think we're looking for. That's another story. I'm sure I'm sure those of us that speak shortly have no problem communicating with.
Yeah.
My ore rate is 25. So I'm not sure. But that's the
I could
best.
sing it. My singing isn't bad.
I have a 58.
There you go.
And singing?
We were talking about oratory.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're the one will have to explain to her who these people are. Your character would be the best one to do that.
So as she's asking the question and everybody sort of pipes in and starts talking to each other, and then things seem to settle down a little bit, I'll chime in saying, in addition to being ambushed on Old Top, we were there to survey activity along the creek. And we saw a barge with numerous troops on it, pulling north.
Oh.
And it's pretty clear they didn't come out of Two Sisters. And I think there's a map somewhere here. I'll refer to the map or ask for one to be brought forth.
Yeah, they'll bring one forth. Looks something similar to that.
And reference on the map where we were and what was occurring. And that there's a tower to the northeast of Two Sisters along that tributary that we identified the Blue Cloaks as coming from. In addition to that disturbing information, it seems that there was a priestess from is it Tink?
The Shaker Temple, further on. Shaker Temple.
The Shaker Temple that the Thane of Runegate was anticipating. And we investigated that as well. Unfortunately, we discovered that their cart and we believe one of her guards was sadly discovered in the river of the creek. We did, however, find tracks that led to what appeared to be an altercation between the bandits that are associated with the group in the tower mentioned earlier with another group that came out of the swamp.
Oh.
Yes.
We determined, and I understand that this is purely circumstantial, but that we believe she was captured by the second group and followed that group toward Odd Tower, which we had some difficulty investigating. It seems that the swamp has advanced over the years. We had some success from a distance and determined that the tower was recently evacuated. But sadly, we were not in a position to investigate further into the swamp and determine what came of the priestess. However, in the course of that, we were ambushed by bandits again, and there was a group that came out of the swamp and attacked the bandits, specifically the guys wearing the blue cloaks, and I'll point at these guys here. They may be able to shed some light on who this third party was. We certainly don't know. And when we were finally able to take control of the situation, the other group was already gone back into the swamp somewhere.
Very interesting. So this third group just came out to attack these fellows here.
Well, I find that a bit odd. As I mentioned, we investigated the tower. The tower was vacated presumably as we approached. And it was shortly after that this third party appeared while we were being ambushed by, and I'll point at the these bandits led by these guys here. So it seems like there are several factions that we're dealing with in the area. But yeah, as to specific numbers, that's unclear, other than to say that they were fairly well numbered, given, and I'll indicate again, referring back to the barge that was pulling north along the creek and the number of people that were in there, and that they likely came from the tower. Now, as I recall, we did send the owl to investigate the tower
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and we got some information from that tour by the owl. So I'll convey that in detail.
Okay.
Also whisper to you about, don't forget the spider spirits underneath the tower.
And
That was a very good debrief.
And I would like, I'm just going to say, although we don't know specifically, the way we have been identifying one group as the water cultists, and that's this group here, because they tend to wear cloaks and things that have water runes on them, and we've dealt with them before. And then the other group we have been referring to kind of as the baboons, even though we're not sure that much about them. But that would be the group that went into the swamp, for instance.
Okay. Okay, so while this discussion is going on, a couple things will happen. I forgot what that first piece was, but the second piece was when Arrestor was talking about the water cultists. One of the guys will pipe up, the dark waters will flood the earth. You know, that kind of thing.
I'll hit him.
Whack.
Shut up, you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there was something else when Bruce was talking.
Turn.
I say, see like that.
Oh, he's speaking out of turn, so
Yeah, that's very rude.
yes.
Shoot, I don't recall if he was talking about the tributary.
Maybe I'll go over there and give him
Or
a
the
whack with
marsh.
my fist.
But one of the counselors will move over and whisper into her ear about something.
Mm-hmm.
And as David is describing what we learned from the owl on the keep, one of the circle will come forward and take notes and draw things out and ask questions, and so they get a fairly good description of what you were discussing.
And I will also at some point refer to our specific instructions, which were to not engage or needlessly risk ourselves.
Okay, I remember what the other piece was. When you were speaking about the priestess from the Shaker Temple, the Arnalda representative will whisper in her ear, and the Queen will mention that yes, that they were bringing a votive image to the Earth Temple from the Shaker Temple. They were expecting them all the way to here.
Yes.
But you only found the one body.
I will look down at my feet and say I need to do penance for not going after and rescuing her.
So, may I ask a quick question? In game time, how long ago was it that we were given our mission?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
You said it was about 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Does Queen Laika say anything?
Oh, she mentioned about the votive image coming down. She asked the question about the third party that seemed to come out and just attack the other group, the Blue Cloaks kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
At the end, she will thank you for your report. There's going to
get out of
be much
character.
planning and discussions to follow.
Did we mention that we thought there might be some sort of base or something up that side stream that goes through the creek from
Yes,
the
uh-huh.
northwest?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
mentioned. Yep.
Okay, good.
In fact, they're taking
I thought it was.
pictures, or not pictures, but they're making drawings and taking notes and stuff, specifically about that.
And I think it was wise that Devin pointed out that we were unable to follow the trail of the princess, but we did try.
Mm-hmm. And she thanks you for your efforts. And then we'll dismiss you unless there's anything else that you wish to convey.
Just think we want to make sure the report of the water dragons gets noted.
The what?
The what?
The water dragon. The crocodile.
Oh,
the
river
crocodiles,
dragon.
Yeah.
I doubt that would interest her, but
Well, there was a group that was riding a couple of them, remember?
That was
Really?
these two.
Yeah.
Well, one of those two.
Yeah.
Was riding one.
We
Yeah.
just
And it was
We
this
took
big.
a head,
It was
Yeah,
oh, yeah, we
huge.
did take a head.
and we're going to have it stuffed and sent to Clearwine if you're interested in observing the monstrosity. Of course, you're welcome to. When it arrives, we'll give you notice.
And I tuck my new necklace underneath my clothing.
Mm-hmm.
That has a huge tooth from it.
She thanks you for the offer, but says that's not necessary. Everybody can make a insight roll.
an insightful. Okay.
Insightfulness.
It's a perception.
Ooh,
Insight.
ooh, I rolled 15.
40. That's
Three.
Wow.
Ooh, a 9.
I got a 20. I got a 15 out of 20.
Somebody.
Holy
I got
cow.
I'm like 43.
23, that's not enough for a critical, but that is a special.
Yep, it is a special. Not 4 on a 43 is a special.
Nope.
I was successful.
I am not.
We just have one special?
I did.
Yeah, but I'm successful. I'm
Okay, those of you who are
surprised.
successful will notice some of the counselors in the back kind of scoffing about this giant dragon riding thing. But Arestra, you will see that actually the queen seemed completely disinterested in that.
Okay.
Did you say disinterested?
Yes, disinterested.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay.
Orestra's been pretty disinterested in it kind of from herself. Orestra's more concerned that Her Excellency or Her Excellency's counselors will get more information out of these prisoners than we have. We have not been very successful in getting them to say much.
And they will attempt to do so.
And of course, if Her Excellency wants me to kill them at some point, just let me know.
Okay. And with that, you will be dismissed. And we are going to
Okey-dokey.
talk through the rest of the season. At some point, you will all be brought back up, and the 2 prisoners will be executed. They will allow Rester to do that.
Ooh.
They were not able to get any further information out of these guys either.
Wow. That says something.
Yeah.
Mind reading efforts were made. Because I can help with that.
Are we still in storm season?
It's
Sea
sea
season.
season.
Sea season.
Is that one of the
Well, I have
Is that one of the base skills for Lankermai? Or yeah, base spells for Lankermai?
I don't know if it's a quote unquote base spell, but it is a spell that they have, and it is one that I have. It's a rune spell, read mind.
Oh, okay. I was thinking it was a sorcery spell.
Well, it's one that Link or Mai has. I don't know that they all have it. So it's one of the few things that Link or Mai has as a. It's not a common rune spell, I guess is
Right,
what I'm
yeah.
trying to say.
It's a cult special rune spell.
Yep.
It's special.
Okay, so they'll be able to get
But I'm-
something.
Pretty sure the council knows that I know that or have that ability.
Well, the Lancromai representative will either know it or have access to it through the temple. Where did it go? I lost my place. Okay, here we go. Yeah, conscious thoughts. So they'll get, some information, but not a whole lot. And they're going to double the patrols in that area, specifically watching between Old Top and the marsh.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to send a delegation to the Dragon's Eye.
The Dragon's Eye.
Yeah, it's a Dragonoot city that's in that area. It's actually the capital.
Right.
Oh.
That's pretty impressive.
Do we know why? Do you tell us?
Oh, because that keep you guys were talking about is in the Dragonoot wildlands. She can't just send people there. She can't just send forces there, right?
Right.
Makes sense.
Okay. So that's going to bring us to the end of sea season.
So
Okay, so she's sending a delegation to the Dragonoot city, the capital, because the keep we discussed is in Dragonoot wildlands.
Yep. That's a Dragonoot territory.
sea season.
So we're going to go ahead and take care
Okay,
of end of season phase. So you get to roll all your check marks.
This is where we have to roll above the score.
That's correct. And you get to add your category modifier to the die roll. And something I've decided is
You have
for
to roll above your base score without modifier.
for elemental runes, you can use your power. Where's your charisma? No, your power.
Repeat that, please.
For your elemental runes, because they don't have a category,
Mm-hmm.
you can use your power as a
Mhm.
category modifier for that die roll.
Right.
For your power and form
Cool.
runes, you can use your charisma. That'll give us a better chance to actually make those rolls in order to get up past 90
So
like
now
you
we
need
want
for
to roll 5.
stuff.
So your
Yours?
elemental runes, you can use your power.
I
Yes.
believe I rolled a 2. Now that I
Hold on
want
a
to roll
second,
high, I
Pete.
rolled a 2.
Hold on a second, Pete. So the elemental runes, you can add power, and then what was the last part?
The form and power runes, which are the other ones, you can use your
Mhm.
charisma as a modifier.
Okay.
Question.
Yes.
Oh.
When you say use charisma as a modifier, do you mean we can take the actual stat
Yes, the actual
and
stat.
add it? Or
Yes, you add it to the die roll.
okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
if your charisma is 15
So-
and you've got a truth rune, you can add 15 to the die roll for your truth rune.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
So for
Unfortunately, I don't
elemental,
have
you add
checks
the
on
power.
any of them.
Now,
That helps us to
not that I
address
think
Correct.
the issue. I'm sorry, Rustra, go ahead.
Not that I think that you should or it's necessary or anything. But along that same line, then what about passion? Because there's no category modifier for passion. See,
For what?
What about what?
passion, like honor and love and hate.
Oh, okay.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think passions would be a charisma thing.
So
point.
on a element on a rune, if you get a success, how much do you add? Or is it the 1d3?
It's a D6 or 3%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to do 3% if I can. All right, I have to get a 66 for scan.